My name is Sherry Dupuy, and I'm one of the founding members of Reimagining Dementia, a creative coalition for justice. January is Alzheimer Awareness Month in Canada, and in recognition of this month, we are so very excited to be able to share our song and accompanying video with you. The coalition began in 2020 and is an international group of dementia activists and allies, including people living with dementia, health professionals, carers and care partners, family and community members, dementia advocates, artists of all kinds, researchers, policymakers, and others, all of whom share a humanizing vision of life, care, and support that promotes inclusion, relationality, creativity, joy, and the possibility of growth for everyone living with and impacted by dementia. The song and video, Let's Reimagine, that you are about to hear and view is one part of the important work of the coalition. The aim of the song and video project is to challenge stigma, show how people living with dementia can engage, connect, and live a vibrant, creative life in community with others, and advocate for more humane and relational care policies and practices for all people living with and impacted by dementia. The making of the song was a creative, collaborative, and iterative process facilitated and produced by Grammy Award-winning musician Simon Law, working with members of a passionate songwriting team, people living with dementia, and other members of the coalition. The video was produced by Lindsay Pierre, supported by our project manager, Robin Gerton, and the trailer was created by Chris Bravo. All of these individuals were extremely generous with the time they devoted to the project, and we thank all of you for sharing your extraordinary talents and commitment to this project and the mission of the coalition. You will have a chance to meet them in a few minutes. We would also like to thank Kate Fassbender and Jennifer Hicks, our campaign communications team, Sian Lockwood, who created our website, and the coalition coordinator, Mary Fridley, and the members of the steering committee for guiding this process. The making of the video was also supported by individuals and organizations in different parts of the world. Individuals and organizations were invited to share photos, video clips, and art that challenged the profoundly negative stigma associated with dementia. We received hundreds of submissions, and you will see some of these in the video. Many more of the submissions will eventually be available to view on our coalition website. Thank you to everyone who took the time to contribute to this work. The video is about 7 minutes long. If for some reason you have trouble viewing the video in this event, Sian has put the link where you can access the video in the chat. Please stay with us after the screening for a conversation with the soloists and members of the creative team, and for a question and answer session where you can ask questions of the team. Before we share the song and video, I ask all panelists to please turn your videos and microphones off. Thank you. So without further ado, we would like to introduce you to Let's Reimagine. Sit back and enjoy.
You and I are like trees in a forest, equal and strong. joy in the sunshine, bow and bend with the rain.
Our roots grow together. We are like birds of a feather.
You lead, then I lead, we get there together. You hear my song,
You sing along and we fly.
it's a new day, it's a new way, it's a new day, it's a new way, let's reimagine. It's a bold day, let's create a world where everyone can thrive. A together day where the joy of one is the joy of all alive. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine.
We are like flowers, let's tend our garden.
Given the space, we all can blossom.
Different ability, gorgeous diversity grows.
We thrive together.
Some people who I thought were my friends kind of disappeared. And I think it was because out of fear, because of what they thought the disease was.
And there's nothing more devastating than when you go, you get your results, and the doctor no longer talks to you.
Because I want to see a different sort of attitude coming out from the world out there.
It's a whole day, let's create a world where everyone can thrive. A together day where the joy of one is the joy of all alive. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine.
ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਿਲ ਜੁਲ ਕੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹੋ
हम सब मिलकर संसार को बदल सकते हैं
We are the change that is needed. Come join the change as we see it.
We are the change that is needed. Come join the change as we see it. We are the change that is needed.
It's a bold day, let's create a world where everyone can thrive. A together day where the joy of one is the joy of all alive. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine.
Romeo, over to you.
Hi, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the Let's Reimagine song and video, and we want to thank you for joining us for our virtual Q&A. My name is Romeo Kalabong. I'm a member of the coalition, and I will be moderating the Q&A. I'm joined by the other members of the coalition, our soloists living with dementia and active dementia activists, Terry Montgomery, Walter Cox, and Brian LeBlanc, our song producer and lead facilitator of the songwriting process, Simon Law, our songwriting co-leads, Holly Marland, Robin Gerton, who is also the project manager, Taylor Kurta, Sherry Dupuy, and Pia Contos. Our video producer, Lindsay Pierre, is not able to be here today, but we want to recognize him for all the work he put into creating the video with us. So before we begin our Q&A, I'd like to invite the soloists and some of the songwriting co-leads to share what the experiences were like for them working on this creative and collaborative endeavor. So Wally, let's start with you. What was the experience like for you to be a soloist for the song?
Well, I found trying to sing over my phone and trying to figure out how to hook it all up and send the music to somebody else completely beyond my capabilities, because I struggle with that kind of stuff. But I was able to drive over to Casey Aiklin over in Reno, and he was kind enough to do the recording in his house, and he forwarded it for me. So it just proves to me once again that even though I don't have the abilities I might have had in some areas before I got affected by dementia, I can still do things. I just have to look for workarounds and common sense approaches and still be able to enjoy what I like to do. So that's kind of where that's at.
Thank you, Wally. That's great. Terry, what was the experience like for you?
Participating in this project for me was, as a soloist, was one of the most enjoyable projects on my journey. I love the entire words that was used in the song, and my favorite piece was, "It's a bold day, let's create a world that everyone can thrive." I was like, whoa, excited about that. And notice that it didn't say just one, but everyone can thrive. And it gives the reassurance that we can do anything if we believe it and bold enough to try it. And so that's when I get a little help from the young people as to how to, sort of spruce up that voice. So thank you.
Thanks, Terry. I'm not sure that Brian actually made it to join us. Sherry, is Brian here?
I think so.
Yeah,
Oh,
he just got here.
Perfect. So Brian, would you be willing to share with us your experience? If he's not ready yet, why don't I come back to that, and we'll go to.
Okay, here we are. Here we are. Sorry.
Hi, Brian.
I apologize.
No
But well,
worries.
okay.
We'll just get your video up there. Just one sec.
Oh, that's.
So while Brian's getting his video up, I'll just ask the question again. So what was the experience like for you to be a soloist for the song?
Well, I've been involved with music in one form or another since I was about 10 years old. And I use music to chase away the brain fog on those days where I can't really think straight. And so when I was asked to do this, I was bowled over to be taken part in something this large, and just hearing the words and so forth. I do a lot of reimagining, especially on rough days, and it was a great and wonderful
opportunity
opportunity to do this. So I just want to thank all of you for allowing me to take part in this.
Thank you, Brian. That's so well said. That's great. Why don't I move over to Simon? So can you tell us what the experience was like for you to facilitate the songwriting process?
Sorry, unmute myself. There you go. This project has been extraordinary, really, from the outset, and involved so many people in so many different ways. Everyone kind of bringing their talents and their skills and their insight to the song. Initially, really, to just craft a song that really had a message of. Let's look at dementia in a different light, in a different way, in a more positive, creative way, because there's still so much life to be lived. And so the way it developed, and so many people over the course of the time, which actually since the summer, really, on and off, a lot of people have been involved, and it's just grown and grown and become richer and richer and more fertile and more powerful as it goes. And it was a real thrill for me to see the video just then, to see it all put together. Just wonderful. So it's been an extraordinary process for me, and I've enjoyed it very, very much. Very, very much.
That's great. Thanks, Simon. I'm sure that's how everyone feels, just to be able to see all that hard work and to share it with everyone. It's such a great feeling. So now I'm actually going to pose a question to the audience. So what was your experience hearing the song and seeing the video? What is sticking with you? What does a song and video inspire in you? So I'd love for all of you to share your comments about that in the chat. And while we wait for some of the reactions to come in, let me pose a question to Robin. As a project manager, you played an important role in supporting Lindsay in the creation of the video. What were the main considerations in creating this video?
Well, what I'll say is that our goal was to create a collaborative visual celebration of the song, one that reflected a worldview, different ages, and lived experience of people living with dementia. We wanted to show their humanity and their agency. And so we asked dementia advocates and their supporters to share their personal photos, as Sherry mentioned, home videos, artwork, signs that they'd created. We received submissions from all over the world. And our hope with the video is that we honored the joy of possibility and the strong call for all of us to make a difference. Those are the messages that were shared with such grace and conviction by people living with dementia.
That's great. Thank you, Robin. So what I'll do is actually share some of the initial reactions. A lot of people had some great comments right when the video ended. There was awesome. That was so beautiful and powerful, splendid. Again, beautiful, amazing, wonderful. Let's reimagine. Bravo, so beautiful and inspiring. Congratulations to all of us for spreading and creating more humanity around the world and leading the end of stigma and the tragedy narrative. That was amazing. Such a lot of thought, feeling, and perspective. Thank you for your awesome work on this. Going to share with everyone I know. So those are great comments to hear from everyone. Another comment was, love the combination of video and song. Wonderful what was transpired here from everyone involved. And so some of the reactions to what I requested. So let's see here. Hope, just simply hope, was one of the reactions that we were getting. So inspired by joining as we seed our future. What an incredible metaphor. First thought, it just said see, but then seed is even richer. Inspires me to keep working hard in all my work with all seniors. So much vibrancy and life in seniors without dementia and with dementia. So much possibility if we just reimagine it. I feel you did honor that joy. It was so present in the video and song. So again, just really wonderful comments from everyone. So please, keep sending in your comments, putting them in the chat. But now we're going to turn to the Q&A portion of the event. So our panel members would be happy to answer any questions that you have about the song and video. We will do our best to answer all of your questions, which you can submit to us by entering them in the chat. So please type the word question before you ask your question to make it easier to find in the chat. Also, if you have a question for a specific person on our panel, please indicate that as well. So while we wait for some questions to come in, I'd like to ask the soloists or members of the songwriting team a question. Maybe I'll first ask Holly. So what are you hoping to achieve with the song and video?
Well, thank you for asking me that question, Romeo. It's wonderful to be here. I work as a musician with people who are living with dementia in a range of different contexts, and already I've taken the song into different groups. I'm so delighted that the groups are starting to meet face to face. So I've worked with a few groups now and I've taught them the song and they really enjoy singing it. So I'm hoping that people can recreate the experience of joining in with the song, translating it into different languages, and sharing it globally and recreating it. I think that would be a really nice thing to keep doing with the song so that it continues to seed. Somebody mentioned in the chat the importance of the change as we seed it. So I hope the song will change as people add their own influences and ideas into the movement. So
thank you so much, Holly. I'll actually ask the same question to Wally. What are you hoping to achieve from this song?
A thing that I found that's common with people when they're diagnosed with dementia, and I've met a lot of them in my groups and stuff, is that there's a complete sense of despair and loss of hope that comes almost immediately. Your world becomes very small. You find yourself frightened and you're not sure what your future is. And it's just it's very hard. And I think that more than anything, getting the word out that there's a life after diagnosis, there's great joy and hope and laughter and fun. You still have a future. You still have a future. And people don't think they do. And I think the worst thing in the world is to, cloister yourself and climb in a hole and pull a rock over your head. That's not what you need. You need to reconnect with humanity, make new friends. The people that don't want to be around you because you got dementia were never your friends in the first place. And just go forward and be loved and love. That's what's important. And I think this kind of thing shows that. So that's what I think is important.
Thanks, Wally. That's great. So one of the questions that we got was any surprises that emerged for you in the songwriting process? So maybe we can get someone from the songwriting team to answer that. Maybe Taylor.
Hi, some surprises. That's a really good question. For me, there was a few surprises. One of them being, I'm a songwriter, but I hadn't actually collaborated on a song ever in my life. And so I didn't know what that would be like. Yeah, I never have. So I was, wow, never, because I would write songs alone. So I didn't know what that would be like. And to me, what was so amazing is to watch everyone who was involved with it come together and create these beautiful lyrics. And sort of, it felt like, what was interesting and surprising to me is that the songwriting process felt like an extension of myself almost, where people could come in and would write these beautiful, beautiful lyrics. And I felt like I wrote them as well. It was a very shared experience. And so as somebody who's collaborated for the first time during this, I just thought that was incredible and such a pleasant surprise.
Oh, thanks, Taylor. That's great. Maybe Simon, do you want to jump in? Were there any surprises that emerged for you in the songwriting process?
I'm long in the tooth in the songwriting process. So I don't know if there were surprises. I was just thrilled about how it evolved, and what I experienced here, and again, it was this sort of the way something can just start from a small beginning you know, and then it just builds and grows, and then another person comes in with an idea, another person, and the way, you know, we did this and then opened it out to a far wider group of people to sort of input and make sure, because we're writing a message song, so we want the message to be clear, you know, it's not like just a sort of a self-expression thing, but you also want it to be arty too. You want it to have a sort of a magical, mysterious quality. So actually I was surprised how that, I feel really thrilled that I think we kind of pulled it off, and that's just amazing, you know. So hats off to everybody. Hats off. Love you all.
Oh, you definitely pulled it off, Simon. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just one cog.
And everyone, yes, definitely. So how many submissions for the song and video did you receive?
You know what, Romeo, I'll jump in and tell you, we're still receiving submissions. There's so much energy and synergy to this movement. And that's why we're going to dedicate a gallery page on the Reimagine Dementia Coalition website so that people can look at their leisure and really savor them.
Great, thank you, Robin. Another question from the chat. I'm leading a new dementia choir as of next month, and I use backing tracks. Will there be an instrumental version I can use?
Yeah,
nods. Yeah,
absolutely. There is, and that's exactly the sort of thing that we all really hope can happen here. And you know, and to hear the song being sung back, rearranged, whatever you want to do. In fact, you know, as anybody who wants to work on it, there are, the basics are there on the website. There's an instrumental track, there's an a cappella, there's a version with, I think, just the choruses in, so you could write your own lyrics for the verses. But if somebody sort of wants to use something and art, sort of use it in a different way, and they need something from me, from the nuts and bolts of the song, I'm happy to provide it, absolutely, because we want it to kind of just take on its own life and evolve, you know.
That's great. Yeah, I want this to be a resource for everyone to use. That's
yes,
great.
Indeed, precisely.
So not directly about the song, but someone asked, how could one become involved in this group? Maybe Pia, did you want to respond to that?
I think Jen already did respond, or Sian did in the chat, just directing folks to our website. And there you'll find a link to become a member. So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Another question we have is, how much of the process revolved around storytelling? And then as a PS, it felt so deeply human, and it felt it was telling the story of so many living with dementia. So again, maybe that's another songwriting team question.
Holly, what about you on that? Because you did such amazing things with the groups that you worked with.
Thank you. I was thinking about this question when I saw it in the chat, and I was amazed. Another surprise for me was how many people were involved in this process. We had so many coalition members, I think 450 or even more than that at various points. And we all came together, and we went up into breakout rooms, and we talked, and we used creative means to derive storytelling. So a lot of it was this process of playfully telling stories about what it is like to live with dementia. And that was such a beautiful, beautiful art. So there was definitely that art of storytelling. And I just thought maybe that we should maybe give thanks to Susan Massad, who the video and the song is attributed to, dedicated to, because Susan really, for me, when I joined the coalition, she encouraged that kind of playful art of storytelling, sometimes not even using words, it was non-verbal storytelling. But I really learnt so much about the importance of our shared experience, our shared lived experiences through the process of being a coalition member. So for anybody that's thinking about joining, please do, honestly, please do join us. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you so much, Holly. So please, add more questions if you have them in the chat. Meanwhile, while more questions come in, why don't we hear from maybe some of the soloists again? So going back, I had asked Sister Wally already, but maybe Terry, can you tell us what you're hoping to achieve with the song and video? Oh, Terry, I think you're on mute. There we go.
Well, I hope that it brings about freedom, education for those that have a stereotypical view of what dementia looks like, and how it can be reassuring to turn it around to see how people can live happily. They can get through their process. They can still express themselves and they can still have fun. That even in your most lowest point, what you can reimagine is just like almost that reminder, reimagine, and it sort of keeps our brain where, hey, it's not so bad being this way, hey, we're happy, we're okay. And so I think that is a very positive way to keep people on point and spread that view. Don't think we're out of it, we're definitely in it with you.
Thanks, Terry. That's such a great and important message. How about you, Brian? Do you want to share maybe what you hope to achieve with the song?
Well, I hope that by listening to the song, people will have a complete different opinion of people that are living with a dementia-related illness. Terry just touched on that a little bit. And, people look at us sometimes that just because we have this thing going on, that we are not able to speak, we're not able to fit into a conversation. And then when we do, they are extremely in this wonderment that, oh my God, they can talk, and I always make a joke about it, because if people, talk to Maureen a lot, they'll just lean in and they'll ask her a question, and me being me, I'll lean into them and I'll say, hey, I can hear everything you say, and I can even respond to it, and the look on their face is like, oh my God. So, but, also I suggest this to anybody. If you're having a really tough day, you can listen to this song and hopefully that's going to lift your spirits. And then the second song that I recommend to everybody to listen to is Anything by Casey and the Sunshine Band. Yes, I'm a child of the 70s. So, listen to Casey and the Sunshine Band, like Boogie Shoes and things
Shake.
yeah, shake your booty, just get up and move, I find myself sometimes just sitting, but then I'll put on my music, or Maureen will come by and she'll take my phone, and next thing you know, I'm hearing music because I forget to put it on. So music is such a powerful thing. And oh, there you go. So it's just one of these things that it goes into your soul, and that's what I use as therapy. And I wish more people would do that, discover things that they can enjoy, but then also brings them peace and calm.
Thank you, Brian. That's such a great message for everyone. So thank you so much for that. So maybe we could hear a little bit more about the collaborative song process and what that looked like. I know that we talked a little bit about that, but any other details that you could maybe share about what that process was actually like to get everyone to create such an incredible song?
I'll just say a little bit. I just want to sort of say about the power of music, really, and that Brian just sort of spoke about that eloquently, but it's just it's this thing which we all love and enjoy, but it's like this very special magic, really, that's right under our noses, I think. And I've sort of been making music for so long in my life, but I think I've only really come to understand the power of it in the last 3 or 4 years, and that's through doing a lot of work in the dementia field and working with people here in Toronto at the Dots a Bit of Wellness Academy and then the Bit of Method, and just realizing how powerful music can be to bring us together, to help us share our stories, to help us connect. You know, sometimes no words need to be sung. You can just sing along with something, or you can dance to it, or you can just listen together, and you're united, you're together in this profound, wonderful way. And I just encourage everybody to, you know, anywhere in this whole story, whether you're a loved one of somebody living with dementia, whether you're somebody living with dementia, you work in this area, you're an activist, turn towards music. It's never going to fail you. And the reason I waved Earth, Wind and Fire album covering up was that, you know, I wanted to just say a little bit about Maurice White and his band, because they really sought to do this with their music, to spread a message of love and hope. And his idea was it was medicine music. And I really believe now and see that music can be a very, very good medicine for us. So just wanted to say that, really. I don't know if that was anything to do with the question, but anyway, there you go.
No, that's good. That's great. I do want to mention there was a comment in the chat from Jennifer Hicks and talking about joining her free Nia dance classes twice a week. So you can email her at jenniferhicks@rogers.com. That's in the chat. That was a comment while Brian was talking about just how important music is. So let me ask.
Romeo?
Yes.
We have lots of time, and I was wondering, there were a number of people who showed up to the session a little late, and I was wondering if people might like to see hear the song and see the video one more time.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea to me. Yep.
All right. All right. Well, Lowell, let's go. If we could ask the panelists again to stop their video and mute themselves, we will show the video one more time.
You and I are like trees in a forest,
Equal and strong in any weather.
joy in the sunshine, bow and bend with the rain.
Our roots grow together. We are like birds of a feather.
You lead, then I lead, we get there together. You hear my song,
You sing along and we fly.
it's a new day, it's a new way, it's a new day, it's a new way, let's reimagine. It's a bold day, let's create a world where everyone can thrive. A together day, where the joy of one is the joy of all alive. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine.
people who were, I thought were my friends kind of disappeared. And I think it was because out of fear, because of what they thought the disease was.
And there's nothing more devastating than when you go, you get your results, and the doctor no longer talks to you.
Because I want to see a different sort of attitude coming out from the world out there.
Let's create a world where everyone can thrive. A together day where the joy of one is the joy of all alive. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine. It's a fearless day, it's a hopeful way, let's reimagine.
जे ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਿਲ ਜੁਲ ਕੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹੋ
हम सब मिलकर संसार को बदल सकते हैं
We are the change that is needed. Come join the change as we see it.
We are the change that is needed. Come join the change as we see it. We are the change that is needed.
It's a bold day. Let's create a world where everyone can thrive. A together day where the joy of one is the joy of all alive. It's a fearless day. It's a hopeful way. Let's reimagine. It's a fearless day. It's a hopeful way. Let's reimagine. It's a fearless day. It's a hopeful way. Let's reimagine.
All right, everyone. We'll maybe do one more question before we wrap up. So why did you choose to write a song to inspire people to reimagine dementia? Where did the inspiration come from? Maybe Robin, do you want to answer that?
Well, we were looking, as Simon said, and many of us have said so eloquently, the power of music to teach, learn, move, connect, and create community and movement. It's so galvanizing. So we knew we needed a song as the centerpiece of our Let's Reimagine campaign, for sure. And then really we were led by the lived experience of people living with dementia. Everything flowed from that. The imagery, the sentiments, the messages, the call to action, all the colors, all the different ages and stages. And so in a way, it was just meant to be. I think there's a real sense of meant to be-ness about the song and now the video.
That's great. Thank you, Robin. So we're actually getting close to the end of the event, so I'm going to have to close the Q&A portion. If there are any questions or comments that you didn't have the opportunity to share or that we didn't get to, you can contact us on our website, which is www.reimaginingdementia.com, which we'll also put in the chat. So before I turn it over to Pia for some closing remarks, I believe Mary Fridley was just going to say a few words.
I hope I can. Oh well, I can't figure out what to do with my camera.
It's okay.
It's okay. I'm going to cry anyway. I think this was emotional for a few reasons. One, as many people know, Susan Masad was my partner in crime for many years, and she so loved this coalition, and she so loved this work, and she would have so loved this video. So I would just, on her behalf, I want to thank everyone, but more importantly, I want to express my love and for the amazing people who put this together, and not just the steering committee and the people that you're meeting today who were just so wonderful. And I share Simon's feeling that it is just a truly amazing feeling to kind of have an idea and then see it through and have it be so powerful and so impactful. And I also want to thank, and one of the things that I'm moved by particularly the people living with dementia who have been involved with this, is that from day one, they said this has to be about everybody. That it's our world that needs reimagining. And they said, if we can create something to inspire anybody who wants to reimagine, then we're going to do that. And I think that, and because I think a lot these days, and this very difficult word, about just the ordinary courage of so many people who are trying to do something different against great odds and with often too little support. So everyone here and all the hundreds and thousands of people around the world who are just trying their best to make a difference, this video is for you.
Thank you so much, Mary, for your beautiful, beautiful words. Thank you. Lastly, I'm going to turn it over to Pia.
Thanks, Romeo. So I'm Pia Contos. I'm one of the founding members of Reimagining Dementia. And on behalf of the coalition and everyone who was involved in the development of Let's Reimagine, I wish to thank you all for attending the launch of our song and video, participating in the Q&A, and helping us to celebrate this really important collaborative and creative work. As has already been mentioned, and I'm sure you noticed in the video, that we have dedicated Let's Reimagine to Susan Masad. whose strong commitment to supporting the relational possibilities of people living with dementia is reflected in her co-founding the coalition and also in all of the work that she did with the coalition, including contributing to the ideas expressed in the song. We're really pleased that Susan's partner, Kate Henselmans, and one of Susan's daughters, Rachel, are here for this virtual event. As Romeo mentioned earlier, if we weren't able to get to your question, or if you have additional questions or comments, you can contact us on our website, which is in the chat, www.reimaginingdementia.com. On the website, you can also find out more information about the coalition, our mission, contributions by our members, events, and how to join the coalition. Many of you have asked. So if you haven't yet signed up, you can do so on our website. And if you know of someone who might be interested in becoming a member, please share our website. We encourage all of you to share the song and video within your personal and professional networks. You'll find this on our website. We also invite you to create your own versions of the song and share them with us. And to support this, on our website, you'll find the lyrics to the song, as well as 3 different versions of the song. So there's the complete song with vocals, there's an instrumental mix of the song, and an a cappella mix. And we hope that you'll find ways to make the song your own and to use it to promote the change that's much needed to support all people living with dementia to live the best lives possible. Our hope is that this song serves to build momentum, to challenge stigma and so many associated harmful assumptions and practices. We hope it shifts the conversation about dementia from tragedy to possibilities, to inspire new possibilities, and to forge alliances with individuals and organizations who are committed to helping to create a society that values people living with dementia as equal citizens and supporting them to live well, to flourish. So with all that the song represents and conveys, we really do hope it gives promise to the rest of the world of how things could be and encourages everyone to reimagine dementia. So let this be our collective goal. And thank you all again for joining us. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. So thank you.